Welcome back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. Happy Monday, everyone. I know that day of the week that we all really hate. And it's a bit unusual this Monday, not only because it's podcast day, but I have my NWA tag partner, Miss Fiona Lockram, with me. Hey, Fee.
Hello, this is a bit strange for a midweek. Well, it's not even midweek, it's just strange for a Monday, I guess. But
Yeah.
we have good reason to be here.
We do. We have a great reason to be here. NWA Exodus Pro Wrestling had their big show on Saturday, Watch the Throne, which you could have watched on the NWA YouTube and still can watch on the NWA YouTube show. We watched the Throne on Saturday, and we're going to talk about it right here. I think the first thing to say, Fee, about this is the future of the NWA is in very good hands.
It really is, if this shows anything to go by. It was great from top to bottom. I loved it and was pleasantly surprised by how many people I actually knew on it.
Yeah. It was good. The amount of people I said, oh, I know this one, I know that one. The action was great throughout the whole show. As you say, from start to finish, it was really, really good to see. We're going to go through the matches. We're going to go through like we would normally do for NWA, and you'll probably hear me say a lot during the show. I could see this person and that person on the NWA roster, which
And to be fair, a lot of them we already have seen on a mainstream NWA Power show. So
that's right. So I won't be saying them.
big show though, 9 matches.
Huge show, 9 matches. I did like the little venue. It reminded me a bit of like where we go for Ignite a little bit. I know they had the stage.
Yeah,
Not in-
it's very much an indie type venue for me over here as well, which was kind of cool.
It was very nice, very good venue. Crowd were loud for the majority of this as
They
well.
were indeed.
Really, really good to see. So let's begin, shall we? Exodus
Let's
Pro,
do
our first
this.
ever one. Okay, so the start was Handsome Harley Jones, I believe his name was, although the commentators did call him the Timu Ric Flair.
Yeah, he was giving off of Flair stroke Von Erich vibes for me.
He really, really was. He had that
Yeah.
cocky arrogance, the strut about him as he was strutting down to the ring in his robe, of course. He's well. And this is what I said. I said a minute ago about I can picture him in the NWA, but I class him as a classic old school NWA heel. That's
I
how
can see that.
that's how I look at him. But his opponent, on the other hand, Jermaine Marbury. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong.
Marbury, yeah.
Um, he wasn't alone.
With Benny the basketball.
Benny the basketball joined Jermaine in his entrance, much to the happiness of the crowd there in Cleveland, Ohio. Great again, and another one that I can picture in the NWA. Weirdly enough, I know he's quite young and he's quite new to the business. But I thought he was actually really, really good. Match itself, I said on the NWA show on Wednesday that I thought that the Daisy Kill Talos thing, the tag with them, was too much of a similar style to it.
Hmm.
With this match, I felt it was a nice complement of styles because you had the technical, Harley was that sort of technical wrestler, good ground game about him, was always looking for that hold or submission
Yeah.
compared to the exciting, he's quite a tall guy, Jermaine, but
Mm.
he had the exciting, there was fast paced about him, good use of the top rope as well.
It's all the faking directions and stuff like that, taking the whole basketball moves into
Yeah.
into the wrestling. I'm not gonna lie, I popped for that. I loved that. The whole I'm going this way, this way, this
Yeah.
way, and then just I really thought that was a nice touch.
It really was. I don't know if he's had a basketball background. Maybe that's where it all come from, perhaps. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I would say quickly about Harley, though, and I think I messaged you. I could see here. I know that Kerry would have to leave the Southern Six for this, but I could see him, Kerry, and Carson together in the NWA.
That would be something.
Something being the word. But unfortunately for the handsome one, the victory by the Kobe crossover, I got it right, I think this time, was Jermaine Marbury picking up an impressive victory, but a really fun opener that, you have to have that kind of exciting fun opener to bring you up
Bring
there,
the
don't you?
crowd in with you from the offset, and I just thought it was a perfect opener.
It really was. I really enjoyed it, and congratulations to Jermaine Marbury. Hopefully, we'll see him in October, which is the next show, which we'll get to
Yep.
in a minute there. But a really fun opener, and then see there was some interviews on the stage as well. We'll get
Yeah, I
into
like that. That was a
yeah,
nice touch as well.
we'll get into a few of those that happened, but not all of them. We had the second chance qualifier next. Now, this was a multiple man match, and the winner of this match would go into the Watch the Throne main event
Yeah.
a little bit later on. And I will be honest, when I first saw Gunnar Kane and when I first saw Hunter, I was
Hmm.
like, I'm not sure about these two. They warmed on me, but it was just first impressions, right? That's
Yeah.
and then I saw TJ Crawford, Love Doug, straight through the heart. They were called a tag team in this.
Love them.
Got written down here, and I might have to clip this. 2026 Crockett Cup competitors shot through the heart.
Ooh, there's a good shout.
I thought I loved it. And of course, Lord Crew was in this, Merciless Lord.
He impressed me.
I tell you what, him and Hunter, I mean, Lord Crew couldn't even get in the ring in the early stages of this, in this match. It was important to note one fall to a finish, no elimination,
Yep.
straight up, but Lord Crew couldn't get in the ring there. Hunter grew on me because he's a hoss fighter, isn't he? He's one of those guys.
Yeah. I think that's probably the easiest or the safest thing to say, to be honest.
Yeah, and the other thing about Gunner, that he really had a great in-ring ability about him when I say first impression when I first saw him, I wasn't not sure, but when the bell rang, totally different, totally different. Loved him when he got in there. I'd like to
This
see.
is what I love about watching shows like this. So I didn't know any of these guys
No, I didn't.
beforehand. So sometimes you've got that, it's people I don't know, I'm not really paying attention,
Mm.
but they came in and I was like, okay, this looks like it could be interesting. So just the size of the guys in it, the diversity in the characters and things
Mm.
and the styles, I was kind of like, okay, this could potentially be really good.
Yeah, it absolutely was. It definitely, as you say, the stars were different. You had the tag team element in it, like you did with the main event as well, which we'll get into. But you had the Shot Through the Heart tag team. You had the Hunter, the Hoss fighter. You had Gunnar Kane. It was a bit like Chad Gable-ish kind of
Yeah.
wrestler in there. Then you just had Merciless Lord Crew, just wanted to kick seven bells of shit out of
You
everybody.
reminded me a little bit of Frank
Yes, the yes.
before he shaved his hair.
Before he shaved his hair. That's right. But to be fair, Lord Crew did get a good response as well
He did,
from the
yeah.
crowd. They seem to love him in this. And after a lot of time in this, I mean, as we said, Lord Crew did start off on the outside. He wasn't allow him in for this, but his kicking is slightly on the hard side, isn't it?
I don't think I'd want to be on the other end of that for sure.
I don't. A lot of them were, and that's what eventually made him pick up the victory and get into the main event later on was those heavy hitting kicks. Don't know what he calls them on the other hand, but I really
We'll
enjoyed
need
it.
to ask him and find out.
Well, Lord Crew, if you fancy coming on the show, my friend, I mean, we'll be more than accommodating. Just ask your friend Pretty Boy Smooth. Just ask Cowpoke Paul. Just ask Gaston Leroux. Congratulations to him, by the way. They're due to have another child very, very soon. Gaston, not Gaston and Cowpoke. Gaston and
I was going to say, just glad you cleared that up there, just
Mr.
in
and
case
Mrs.
anyone got
Leroux.
confused.
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. LaRue are due to have another child soon. So I know he's taking limited available bookings. So, but congratulations to Lloyd Crew and a great match and puts him in the chance to win the Midwest Championship a little bit later on in the show. But I know this was the one that you were looking forward to for obvious reasons. This was your boy,
The
right?
Man Mountain himself, Pretty Boy Smooth.
Pretty Boy Smooth. To be fair to this, that these were two mountains in this one.
They really were.
Because Gannon Jones Jr. is no slouch. When
No, and he's also one half of the current Exo Pro Tag Team Champions as well, so you know he's going to be good.
he was, poorer straight through the heart though, were still in the ring, having a little bit of a tiff, a lover's tiff.
Yeah, it was looking a bit dodgy at this point, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then of course Gannon Jones Jr. comes in and decides, well, I'm going to take you out with a double choke slam.
I know, poor boys.
Which then, of course, brings out the urban playboy himself, Pretty Boy Smooth. Now, at this point, straight through the heart or on the outside of the ring, just recovering from the double choke slam,
Just.
just as Pretty Boy Smooth proceeds to knock them the fuck out, which was I thought it was tremendous.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Oh, I loved it. I thought it was great. It was. I just thought, what a way. He had to one up Gannon Jones, didn't he? That was his opponent and Pretty Boy
This
Smooth.
is true.
You know,
This is true.
it's a bit like Undertaker and Kane when they used to do the choke slams on the cruiserweights, and one they used to try and beat the other one, didn't they? And it was what they were doing.
What cracked me up about this though is that over the top rope into the ring, like it's just a little stick this high off the ground. Do you know what I mean? It
Yeah,
just
yeah, it was incredible.
that
And
just shows you how tall they are.
they were ridiculously tall. I'm if they'd gone to the top rope in this, I think they would have been clutching the ceiling
Yep.
or near enough at some point. But this was a fight.
This was a horse fight.
This was a hoss fight. This was a hard hit. Although, having said that, the athleticism from these two guys. I mean, Pretty Boy Smooth was leapfrogging like Mario during a video game. When he hits the blocks, he was going crazy in this. And then Gannon does a whisper in the wind in this, or
He
some
did, yeah.
in the wind. I think he missed.
What I will say, and please don't shout at me, Smooth. I actually thought they were pretty evenly matched.
They was.
And they were kind of the near falls were going, the two counts were kind of going from pillar to
Yeah.
post. So it was like 1 for 1
Mm.
quite a few times throughout the match.
It was a very well matched. They were very well matched in there. There's no doubt about it. But I'm hopeful this was that. I think they called this on the that Smooth. They called this on commentary. So if I've got it wrong, you got to blame the boys on the desk, mate. They called it the down and out, the punch that he hit Cannon to pick up the victory.
I never caught it. So I'm going to hold my hands up and say I suck on that front. But before that, the moonsault by
Oh yeah.
Gannon, I was like, he's not going to go for it. And he did. Obviously, he missed. And that leads to the pin in the end. But I was like, holy shit, he's actually going to do this. And he did. And he flew.
Oh, he did fly. There was no doubt about that. Again, two incredibly talented. Do you know what? And I know that people will say we're being biased because we talk about him a lot. There's put it this way: PBS NWA equals money.
Oh, without a doubt.
If that
Without a doubt.
if
I
that
don't think it'll be long before he has an NWA belt around his
I
waist.
was
Not
literally
talking a
about to say.
territories one either.
Yeah, I was literally going to say that myself. If Pretty Boy Smooth doesn't have a NWA championship within next 12 months, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And to be fair to Gannon, you could argue with Gannon as well. They're that good. And I think that, obviously we're going to see Smooth this week on Power,
Hmm.
in the Crockett Cup as well, which gives us some more of an opportunity. But yeah, he's incredible. He's money in the NWA, and they need to utilize that guy because he is
Yeah.
really, really good. Speaking of guys, they need to utilize. Mike, this next one for me was match of the night. Brandon Strictly Business, sorry, Brandon Beretta and LJ Cleary.
Which
Cleary.
was a total surprise. I hadn't, obviously, I don't know, had they announced LJ Cleary?
Yes.
I'd obviously missed that one because I popped when he came out. I've had the pleasure of seeing him in the UK before. Insanely talented. And obviously, Brandon's Strictly business plan had beat an international superstar on it.
Yeah,
So a great opponent for him to tick off something on his business plan.
that was right.
If
We
he
we
can do it.
we love the Brandon's business plan, the Strictly business plan, as he called it.
I love how he was like to the poor guy holding it, lift it up, rather than move his hand and just kept his finger there. And the poor guy with his big whiteboard had to just keep doing this. And then when he lowered it, he was like, don't put it on the floor. And like every time the camera panned when the match was going on, the guy still had standing holding it. I'm like, I bet he's got his foot underneath
He had
it.
to have something underneath it. It was priceless though. I mean, obviously, people that will probably know that watch the WWE that LJ Cleary's fiance is Lyra Valkyria as well, and he's also had a WWE tryout recently. Did LJ?
Mm.
Not sure how he got on, but good luck to him. But this was technically brilliant
Yep.
in this. This was one of the best technical matches I've seen in quite some time. You can easily see why Cleary's had the tryout as well.
Yeah.
Didn't it? And I'm sure, to be fair, if we saw the word Brandon Beretta tryout, not that we'd want to get rid of him in the NWA, of course, but if we had saw the words Brandon Beretta and got a tryout with WWE or AEW, we wouldn't be
I wouldn't have
sitting.
been surprised. I will never be surprised if I hear that phrase.
No, to be fair, and a lot of them in the NWA exact same. Do you know what? Going back to Pretty Boy Smooth, and I hope he doesn't take this the wrong way because it is meant as a compliment. Moose is what I see from him.
Him versus Moose.
No, well, yes, but also there's a lot of similar
Yeah.
characteristics and styles between the two, right? But yeah, him v Moose as well. Yeah, let's get that happen. Let's make that happen as well. But don't take that the wrong way, Smooth. It is a compliment before you. If I see something posted later on, I'm just gonna
You know he'll come for you if he's
oh
offended
no,
by it,
if
so
he
it's
finds it insulting, but it wasn't an insult. It was meant as a compliment. But anyway, back to this match. This was brilliant. I mean, Cleary done his best to avoid the German suplex at all costs.
Oh, he outsmarted Beretta a couple of times using the ropes,
He did. He really did.
which made me giggle. I actually thought that was very clever, and it's been a while since I've seen someone use the ropes in quite that way, other than maybe sliding out the ring. But
Yeah.
he was using his old noggin for that.
Oh, he was, and that's what makes him that good as well. It's the ring awarenessness that you don't always see.
And they pointed that out in the commentary as well, how
Mm.
Brandon controlled everything from the center of the ring.
Yeah.
He rarely moved about, and I hadn't actually noticed it until they said it. And then I was watching it, and I was like, the only time he's really moving is when LJ was like throwing him into the corner or whatever. But for the bulk of the match, he was very, very central. And I was like, okay, you're smart as well.
Yeah,
He's so
indeed.
talented, man.
Oh, he's ridiculously talented. Him, I would, as much as I liked Mondo and Slade, I would have much Brandon and Slade as a team. But just technically, I don't think there's many people that could hold a candle to him, really.
No.
But really, really good match on this. But this was a huge win for Brandon Beretta with the fisherman suplex. Haven't seen anyone win with that since the late great Kurt Hennig himself as well. But Brandon Beretta, that's a huge win for Brandon. I think
Yeah.
he's the underdog going into this one, to be honest.
Do you think?
Oh, I think so. Absolutely. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Probably.
that's interesting. I don't know if I would have said that, but home territory and everything, home turf. So,
Yeah. Experience factor, LJ, where he's been, everything he's done. I'd put LJ as favorite. I think I had Brandon Beretta to win in the predictions that I posted on Instagram, so I'm taking the win.
okay.
Yeah, I still thought it was the underdog going into it, but
But
great.
yeah, he has ticked a couple of things off on his business plan now, which is good.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if we'll see him back in the NWA anytime soon. Obviously, he tagged with Baron von Storm as well in the past, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether that was just a one-off or whether that's going to be a future tag match or a future tag team. Who knows? Who knows?
As you
But I'd
always
like to
say.
see him back on the power, back on power.
Oh, he has to be. He's got to be.
Yeah.
We mentioned about the NWA being in safe hands. I mean, Brandon and Smooth are guys already there
Yeah.
in terms of we've seen them. There's so many talented on here that we haven't seen yet in the NWA. But those two, they have to. I mean, I'm pretty sure Smooth's there or thereabouts now in the NWA. I don't think there'll be
As
many.
far as I know, he's not got a contract yet, but I imagine that might not be very far away.
Well, I would think that Billy's going to have to get it sorted out pretty damn quickly for both
Yeah.
of them two, really, not just for Brandon as well as Pretty Boy Smooth. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. But great win for Brandon, as you say, crossed a couple of things. He crossed another thing off his business plan a few months ago because he come on this show.
He did. He
That was
did.
another thing that he crossed off his strictly business.
Whoever wrote his business plan needs a dictionary, and that's all I'm going to say.
I hope that wasn't you, Brandon, because I didn't. Whoops. Fiona can write your next one for you. There you go. Anyway, women's action. The only women's.
Oh, I was so excited for this. So excited.
My only gripe with Exodus, and apologies, guys. 9-match card, one women's match. Not one.
Yeah,
Do you
I
need?
would have liked to have seen more, but holy moly.
Oh, if this was the only match you're going to have, then
We know how good Tiffany Nevis
Oh,
is. We know that. We've seen her plenty of
yeah.
times. I don't know how much you know of Marty Bell or whether you
No.
were watching Power when she used to be there. To see Marty back involved with NWA, having been a former women's tag team champion with Allysin Kay, I popped. Like, I was so, so excited when I saw this. I love her. I think she's brilliant. I know that she started her career in Cleveland, and they were
Mm.
saying on comms on Saturday night that it was the first time she'd been back wrestling in Cleveland in
Yeah.
about 9 years.
Mm.
So she was really excited to be back, and she got such a good reaction from the crowd.
She did. She really did.
I was really pumped for this one.
Oh, they absolutely delivered on it. What I will say with this one is that we've seen Tiffany in quite a few matches in NWA, and she has shown sort of a mean streak in some of those
Oh
matches.
God, yeah.
But I will say on this one, I felt as if she was real. That there was a more of a mean streak about her, and she was obviously focusing on on the shoulder of Marty as well. So Marty couldn't hit the finish, her finish. But I think on this one, and again, we've seen her in matches with Markova and the Page sisters and whatnot. I think on this one she was more more mean than ever before. Really,
Maybe she knew how much was at stake and how much the match meant to Marty,
maybe.
and knew that Marty would come all out for this,
Well,
given
she
that
did.
she was returning to Ohio and she was returning to the NWA for the first time. And I mean, it's been a few years since she was NWA, so this was probably a pretty big thing for Marty to come back.
Yeah, it absolutely was. And she managed to capture the Exodus Pro Women's Championship. They did sort of put it as a shock victory for Marty, and it's the way that the way they were saying it was only a roll up, of course, that got the win because she couldn't hit the finish because Tiffany had done so much work to the
Yeah.
shoulder. But she rolled up, she won and I just kind of wonder because you mentioned contracts and stuff like whether because obviously Tiffany she's in real quality wrestling I think for Booker T I believe as well. So I don't know whether there's a contractual thing with the NWA now where she's kind of that's her done with Exodus. I'm not sure.
I don't think so. I don't think she would be done with Exodus because it's territory.
No, true.
All the contract, as far as I'm
Yeah,
aware, all the contracted power people are free to do the territory shows. I
very
don't know about any other ones, but as long as they're territories, there's no, as far as I'm aware, there's no reason why they can't work
yeah.
them.
Very, very, very true. The only thing on this match, I wish it could have been 5 or 10 minutes more. I felt as if it was.
I didn't keep track of the times of the
Neither did I.
matches in this
No,
card, but it was a long show. It was like 2 hours, 48 minutes, I
with a
think.
break though, they did
With
have.
the break, yeah, but I think that's what YouTube said when I switched it on, so I knew it was going to be a decent length of a show.
Yeah, I just wish maybe 5, 10 minutes more they could have got out of it. But look, nevertheless, two great again, great match, and
How raging was Tiffany at the end, though? It was so funny.
she wasn't a happy La Princesa, that's for
But
sure.
do you know what was even funnier? When Marty dropped the bell at the curtain.
Duh.
I like poor Marty. She was you could she had it up because when she turned her back to the crowd and she lifted the belt up, and I don't know, she obviously just didn't have a grip of it and she dropped it, and I could just see her body language go, "Oh shit!"
Marty, learn to hold a belt.
Oh, she's had
Mm.
plenty of championships before.
Yeah,
She knows what she's
I
doing.
done my research before the match just to sort of know what she was up to and then what she'd been done. So I knew she'd win a champion. Obviously, she will be at the next show, Hexodus, which is great,
Mm.
great name for the show. We had the aforementioned break at this point.
We did. So that
Um,
was sort of like five match first half. Decent.
yeah.
That
We
was
had,
good. Great first half. Obviously, the joys of watching it on YouTube mean you can fast forward the breaks.
yes, and that's exactly what I did, which was amazing enough. Argento was next, Cristiano Argento. He's a funny looking fucker, isn't he?
You're
Sorry,
so kind.
but
Funny looking fucker.
I didn't mean that horribly. But he's just like when he come out, he's definitely got that Italian look about him. He
He
had a little bit
does.
of like Rick Martel about him. I would say that there was a little bit of that brash, that just that when I remember watching Rick Martel as a kid, and when Argento come out, A, I said he's a funny looking fucker, and B, I was like, but you've got that Rick Martel something about you that
It's fair enough.
Sorry, but he did lose to Caesar in the last show. Obviously, this is what we found out. He'd lost to
Yeah.
Caesar to Towel Boy, who coincidentally you can see on this very show. Well, we'll be recording with Talboy.
You get a towel and you get a towel.
Yes, I'm hoping Talboy, you will give us some towels. We'll see. Anyway, Argento was taking on our good buddy from last week, Cowpoke Paul. I'm glad I said Cowpoke and Cowboy because I keep saying Cowboy.
I keep wanting to say that as well. It's a hard one to get your head around when you're not really used to the word cowpoke.
It is. What I will say though about Argento is he's got a really interesting bit of ring presence about him, which I really enjoyed. He was like no frills. I would say I can't remember, like no frills, no spills, just fists and bits and pieces like that. But he was just a no frills guy. He was one of those like if you're a footballer, you've not got the tech. Like, you're not going to be doing all the step overs and all the turns and everything, but you're just going to take the fuckers out. And that
You're just going to go for it,
yeah.
yeah.
And that's what he is. And I really like that about him because again, that's what makes the guy unique as well, because he does, he's just a great wrestler.
Yeah.
That's that. Whereas Cowpoke Paul, he was doing the dozy doze, he was yee-hawing all over the place. There was a quickness about him as well, which I didn't knew that he had when I first saw him.
Yeah, well, it's kind of the first time I've really seen him wrestle as well, properly.
And
So
a lot of times when you see like Cowpoke or a Cowboy, you instantly think he's a gimmick guy. But
yeah,
he's not. He's actually got that ring, really good in ring ability as well. A lot of fast paced action with him, like I said, a lot of dozy doze with him as well. I tell you what I loved about this, and it was the end, funnily enough, not because the match was bad, but I'd never seen someone get rolled up the way that Argento rolled up Paul.
it was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. It was one of those ones I was like, did I just see that? I actually rewound it and watched it again because
I
I
did.
was like, what just happened? It's like a blink and you miss it almost.
Yeah, it was such. I trying to. So he gets whipped into the corner as Cowpoke Paul's running him. He's on. He then sort of positions himself onto the second rope lengthways, and then rolls through and pins
But
Cowpoke
I've
Paul.
never seen that before.
I love that because it was something a little bit different. He had his feet on the ropes, of
He
course.
did. And the ref never saw it, or the result may have been very different.
Yeah, but I will say that was such a unique way. I loved that. I thought it was really, really good. So,
Like to me, it looked a little bit awkward because
mm,
I think it was just for me going, how the hell do you get yourself in that position? But it's obviously something that he's practiced and
yeah,
has nailed.
absolutely.
And maybe to make it look awkward, I don't know, but it did look awkward to me. But that's because I'm not a wrestler, and
There we go. We're
it
just
was very clever.
I loved it. And I love these different ways of winning matches. It ain't just the same. And he done a great job there. But he did say that at the show in October at Hexodus, he wants a Caesar's Revenge match with,
On Towel Boy.
yes, because Towel Boy is currently the Caesar. And it was Cristiano Argento.
Indeed. So that'll be fun. That'll be a new person to watch wrestle, which is always a good thing. So
Yes, it certainly will be. And we are looking forward to hosting Towel Boy on Wednesday night. We'll be, again, hoping for towels. But we'll see. We get lucky enough. The next, there was a team making their debut in the Exodus. I was going to say the NWA, pretty much right. Exodus Pro.
Six-man
Vindel,
tag.
yeah.
This I was excited for this. I love a tag match.
So was
Six-man
I.
tags also.
Vindel 48. So they were the was it the
I
Cody?
never caught the guys' names. I just had it as Vandal 48, so
Vandal
I
48.
never caught all their names.
They
So
were
I do apologize for that.
It was the brothers Kogar and Christian Napier was their partner in this. And they were going against M. Bill J, Man Bun Jesus, and Sam Bailey, and the Ashton Day, who you can see interviews with Sam Bill and Ashton Day on this channel. Man Bun Jesus, you're the only one out of that three that hasn't been on here, my friend.
Get it sorted.
The hint is there, my man. Hit us up. I think I've hit you up before. So sort your man bun out and get on the show. We're waiting to interview you, my friend. But this was great.
Yeah, I enjoyed this. There was loads of action in this. There was loads going on inside the ring, outside the
Yeah.
ring. It was a lot of fun. It
Oh,
might not have ended the way I potentially wanted it to end,
okay.
but it went well. Not no. Am I thinking of the? Oh no, I'm thinking of a different match. My apologies. I'll just stop right now. I
I'll
just
carry
looked
on.
at my notes and looked at the wrong notes.
Um, did you see the massive spine buster that I think Sam Beale hit in this? Phew. Jesus, that was
No, in fact, yeah, it didn't end the way I wanted it to end.
okay. Well, let me
The
get
same
to
people won that I wanted to win,
right.
but they didn't win the right way.
What happened was Vindel 48 went absolutely crazy and slammed the referee down on the floor, causing a DQ. That's how it ended.
Basically, yeah.
That's how the match ended. We had more still to come into this.
Meat skewers. I
Yeah, so basically,
can't deal with that. I'm not a hardcore fan, and it's not technically hardcore, but I don't like that shit. That's all I
so
have to say on that.
they proceeded to hold up Ashton Day, and I believe it was Christian Napier, I could be wrong, decided to plant skewers in the head of Ashton Day and smack him down into his head.
I
Um,
hate that shit.
I haven't seen that since All in One with Moxley and co. But what I would say, considering the rest of these matches, it was something a bit different because a lot of these,
Yeah, no, totally.
not
And
necessarily just that, but the ending with the DQ and
to
so.
be fair, what I saw of Vandal 48, I'm not surprised, and it to me it wouldn't have seemed out of character, even though I barely know them.
Mm, yeah, I get that.
But what I will also say was I was grateful for the towel that was ringside that they put over Ashton's head to get him out the ring because I did not want to see blood.
It would have been very nasty because I mean, it was forcefully put in his head as well.
There was
Let's.
like 15 or 20 of them, so just like a big massive wad of them, just boom.
I found it funny because it was like an independent show. They don't cut away. You can see him picking up the skewers from the from the ring at the end of it, which I love that because it just reminds me of watching an independent wrestling show that when you're live there, like on a someone's got it streamed just like these guys,
Yeah.
which was great. But then a big surprise for us on the show, the director of the territories himself, Aaron
Mr.
Stevens.
Stevens
What a surprise! In his very expensive, I would probably say, tracksuit that he had
from Timu.
from. Um,
He's gonna kill me for that.
ladies and gentlemen, on upcoming on Power, there'll be another Mint Julep match. It will be Aaron Stevens versus Fiona Lochran coming
I
up.
could take him.
Okay. Um, let's anyway, he comes out and yeah, I'm just losing my train of thought a little bit.
Aaron comes out and
Aaron
he
comes
has
out.
company.
And he has company from Slimeball City, of course. Now, what's happened on here is, and what obviously we didn't know because we haven't been up to keeping up to date. This is the first kind of Exodus show that we've sat there and physically watched. Carson Drake has got an opportunity at the Exodus Pro Champion, the Midwest Championship. So whenever
He has a briefcase.
they love briefcases in wrestling, don't they?
Oh God, everybody loves a briefcase.
Everyone, if you ever watch The In-Betweeners, you'll love the briefcase. You American guys don't know, but you just
Oh, I don't know. I think it's probably reached there.
they probably got an
That
American.
box or something like that.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, so what he was saying to the Slime Balls is you can't win the match, soften up the champ so that Carson can come out at the end and cash in the briefcase. That's really where they were getting to. And then he basically told the Slime Balls to piss off after that.
In the nice, friendly way that Aaron does.
Yeah, and then he proceeded to introduce to us Carson Drake. You could tell the
He's
vocal.
insufferable.
Who is?
Carson.
Oh, I was going to say. I thought he was going to say the way that Aaron introduced him because
No.
he was going kind of few stages of puberty at the time. Like he started off before the ball drop, so to speak, and then he ended up with the ball drop right near
Yeah.
the end of his entrance. For those of you that I'm trying to the high voice doesn't last very long when you begin introducing Carson. Carson Drake, I don't think your tights were doing you any favors on Saturday, Carson. Either that or it was cold.
Ah,
You need to. I would really, yeah, think about it, my friend. Anyway, he was introducing, sorry, Carson Drake, who was going against another man. Oh, they've both been on the show. All three of these
they
guys.
have indeed, yeah.
Carson has been on, and Carson's opponent, Pastor CeeLo, has been on. And to be fair, he wasn't very happy the fact I put Carson Drake to win this match in the predictions that I posted out this week. I thought I was expecting a comedy match here, and I was very happily proved wrong. But
This
again,
was
go
this
on.
was Pastor Cilo's first singles match in Exodus Pro.
It was, and I didn't know. I was just expecting,
I,
uh,
yeah, I kind of, oh, I feel bad for saying this. I thought it was going to be a bit of a squash match,
yes, I did feel that as well. But it
but
wasn't.
Pastor Cilo outsmarted Carson on a number of occasions in this match and really pleasantly surprised me. I was like, okay, I like this.
Yeah, he was. We both agree on this. We was expecting Carson to win it quite comfortably.
And
What I
there
will
was
say,
quite a significant size difference as well.
mm,
Like, I've never really been able to gauge how tall Carson is.
mm,
He always seemed a little bit smaller than the guys he's been wrestling with on Power, but he looked massive compared to Pastor CeeLo.
he did. He really did. And again, I go back to what I said earlier about Tiffany Evans. We saw a much more ruthless Carson Drake.
We did. We really did.
And I would just wonder if that championship match he had with Latimer, maybe he felt as if he took the eye off the ball when he had potentially had the match won.
He could be way more focused, and obviously there's big shows coming up in the coming weeks. 77's this weekend, so
It is. It
he's
is.
maybe upped his game and upped his focus and upped his intensity.
Well, he did because he was smashing CeeLo into every ring post he could possibly do
Poor
at
CeeLo.
this point. And then,
I'm surprised Smooth didn't come out and rescue him.
yeah,
And then
smooth.
smash Carson in the face. That would have been fun. Sorry.
Smooth. Um, but he did get put in a sleeper, poor CeeLo, and got sent to La La Land by Mr. Carson Drake, who I still think is going to be NWA World Champion in the very near future.
Not my chump.
Not your champion, I know, but I just think that's where it's going with him. Now, before we get to the main event, so we had this other thing where EC3's first trainer, or the trainer of EC3, J Rock,
J-Rock.
who was doing commentary for this, got on the microphone, and EC3 was already out at this point because he's the referee for the main event. And he said that basically he knows he can't beat these guys, but he can beat them on any given day, was kind of the and he wants the winner of this match. Who he wants to in October, and
He
a bit
wants
of
a shot at the title.
he does, and the EC3 was a bit hesitant initially. He said he's got to run it by Billy and Aaron, and Jay Wall was just like, look, mate. He's kind of just saying, look, mate.
I'm going
Yeah,
to have this title shot, whether you
yeah.
like it or not. Pretty much.
And the crowd wanted it. The crowd
They
wanted it.
did. They did.
So EC3 being the man that he is, said, okay, you've got it. You get the winner of this match, the Watch the Throne match, which pitted the Slime Balls, Dante Casanova, the Midwest champion, Lord Crew, who won a match earlier on, Vincent Nothing,
And
and
Brett Ryan Gosling.
yes, who had won Preface or Preface or whatever they call it. I
Yeah.
can't remember. They pronounce it differently to us. Um, this was nuts.
How good did Dante Casanova look coming out with that belt though?
Oh, the whole presentation of him is brilliant.
Like just incredible.
Got
And
a mask
we've
on.
seen him a couple of times on Power, haven't we?
I'm gonna have to say I don't remember, and that's
I'm pretty sure we've seen him at least once on Power.
maybe.
But he looked incredible, like some sort of Aztec god coming out with
Yeah.
that belt. Like so cool. I love his look.
Oh, it was brilliant. It was absolutely his presentation. Do you know it go back to, it kind of reminds me of on the UK scene. It's a little bit different in terms of character. Cara Noir to a degree, not massively, but
Okay, I'm
there's
not
a
sure I see it, but I'm intrigued to see how you've come to that conclusion.
spectacular entrance.
Okay, yeah. The whole, because Cara Noir's whole Black Swan thing is one of my favorite things to watch in wrestling in the UK when he comes out. So I get it.
There we go. I'm not saying there were similarities between what they do or anything like that.
Okay, no, I understand now. I was having a bit of a brain fart there. I
Good.
apologize.
I'm glad you did. Brett Ryan Gosling obviously won Preface, but he didn't last very long in the early stages because he was sent right out the back. Looked like he
He
had a
was,
injury.
yeah.
in this. But he does come.
Until he came back with a weapon.
Oh, he come back with a chair. We'll get into that. I want to see Lord Crew and Vincent Nothing in a Falls Count anywhere. It's
That would be carnage.
It was they were never in the ring for a
I know.
majority of I did love it though. They started in the ring, they were outside the ring, they rolled back in the ring, and next thing you know, they're back out the ring, beating the crap out of each other. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. I really I like Vincent Nothing as well as another one that really looks the part of
Yeah.
a wrestler. You know, he's got that not necessarily the same physique, but on that long way of how EC3 looks in terms
Mm.
of very, very EC3's chiseled out of stone, isn't he? But
He is, he is. And as a ref, he was pretty fair down the middle with this.
lenient,
But generally, I kind of felt like he was just kind of standing back a bit and just letting them. To
just
be
count.
fair, I wouldn't want to be getting in the middle of that lot.
No, and to be fair, he was just counting the pins and doing that because it is
Did you
one
see
full
him at the
count.
start of the match before they came in and he's standing there and he's like, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
He
I'm
was
like,
trying
yeah,
to
that's
practice
all you need to do. Count to three, AC3.
because this match obviously was a no disqualification because it was a multi-man, but it was again one fall to a finish on this.
And this
Um,
is what I like about these multi-man one falls because you never know where it's going to come from. And obviously you have the added thing of the tag team with the slime balls in there as well.
yes, but they were under strict instructions. Remember,
Yeah, but they were sneaky. They nearly got it won. They tried to
and
pin each other.
yeah, I thought that was great. What
I
a
thought
great
that was
idea!
such a like that like for guys who maybe don't come across as the smartest individuals, that was a smart thing to do.
I was literally going to say the same thing. Perhaps this whole is a charade from them too.
Maybe they're way more intelligent than I give them credit for, and
Very
not just absolute meatheads.
they're very savvy in that ring. Maybe savvier than what people. Maybe if their looks could kill, right, they'd be on death row. But in terms of their maneuvers, they're very smart. But Brett Ryan Gosling, as we kind of hit back, he does come back in with a chair. That's when it all kind of breaks down. Of course, crew and everything are out fighting outside of the ring
Yep.
as they would normally. Then the slime balls of well, basically was beating the crap out of Casanova with the chair on this as well.
Which they are doing what they were sent in to do.
They very much was, but then there becomes a bit of a ref bump on this. But it was Casanova that was involved in that.
I don't think Casanova started it
He
though.
didn't. No, but he was the one that got the shot in on EC3.
This is true.
Accidentally got the shot in on EC3. And Casanova then hits a big end. I call it the big ending because it's always Big E's finisher from the drop. And there was no ref. But out comes Aaron in
Of
a
course he
referee,
does.
gets rid of the tracksuit top, puts the referee's shirt on, counts the pinfall for the win for Casanova. But he's referee not because he wants Casanova to win.
Because he wants Carson to cash in.
And out comes Carson Drake to cash in. But EC3's got his bearings about him then and stops and prevents the cash in from happening. And then he has a little bit of a stare. They sort of cart her off, and he has a little bit of a stare down with Casanova to end the show. Which again, what a great 3 hour. And that 3 hours went quick as well.
It did. Just on the end of that match, did you notice at the end, obviously, Casanova gets his arm raised, he's still champ. EC3 had a little bit of a black eye going on, and I'd never clocked it earlier on, so we obviously got clocked at some point during whatever was going on with him in the ring.
The melee that was going on in the ring. But for a first show, Fia, we messaged today about this, and we said like, right, we're going to have to actually look at doing this going forward with
Yeah, I think it's a good show. I really do. For a first time full watch for me, because I've seen matches on and off, but never actually watched the full
Mm,
show. I really enjoyed it.
yeah.
Other than Power, I don't really watch a lot of wrestling, and I went to a show on Saturday night just to watch it as a fan for the first time, maybe only the second time this year actually. And to be able to just sit back and watch something and enjoy it is the most glorious thing ever. And I'm not used to it. And I got really caught up in this.
Mm. Yeah, I
And
agree.
I don't know whether I'd spoken to another friend, they were like, oh, you watch anything and love anything NWA related. And I was like, no, I can be critical when I need to be.
Oh, you can.
But I think for this, because so many of the people we have seen before,
Yeah.
but so many of them we haven't, it
Mm.
made it a really, really interesting watch for me.
Yeah, and again, and when we do get to see these guys eventually on Power, which we will do, we'll know about them, and it will be like, oh yeah, we saw him at Exodus Pro, and
Yeah,
what we hope, and I think you mentioned this at the start, is that the NWA would be great if they could put all the territory shows, and I know that
onto their YouTube.
yeah, and I know that MLW
That
have.
would be a nice wee thing for the international fans who can't access Roku.
Yeah.
Give them something to look forward to.
Yeah, it would be good. As you say, we're lucky. We when you can get a VPN working for Power, we get, but we get to
It
watch it.
seems to be a Wednesday thing. It seems to be I can't watch it on a Tuesday. I have to wait till a Wednesday to watch it,
Whereas,
which is fine.
whereas I watch it on Tuesday, like tomorrow, for example. I'm going to be looking forward to Power. Actually, this week's going to be a tag team special this week on NWA Power. Actually, there's going to be a lot of
Rocket Cup, baby!
Two Crockett Cup action, and also Tiffany Nieves will be on action as well with her partner and the name Marty. But no, Marty Bell's the one she lost to. Who's a tag team partner on the NWA? Do you
Is
remember her
it
name?
Sam? No, it's not Sam Starr, is it? That's
No, but she's
terrible.
part of the group.
That's terrible. I should know that. I'm having a minute.
TVMA's their television TV's most attractive's their name. That's what I do know. Anyway, they're going to be in action as well against the Tonga Twins, making their NWA debut this week on Power. But Exodus Pro is back on Saturday, October the 11th. They're going to be back at the Tree Law Music Hall again in Cleveland, Ohio for Hexodus. Which is
I'm excited to watch it.
going to be a Halloween one. We are going to see EC3. We are going to see Pretty Boy Smooth there as well as Pastor CeeLo. The return of Anthony Green as well. Uh,
Cool.
the alternative Anthony Green will be back.
I'm presuming Marty will be there making her first title defense.
She will be, yeah.
Be interesting to see. Obviously, we only saw her and Tiffany, so it'll be interesting to see what other females are involved with them.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeing Man Bun Jesus and Sam Bill again, MBJ, which is great. Merciless Lloyd Crew will be back, as will Carson Drake and the Slime Balls, as of course will back Beretta, Brandon, LJ Cleary's back as well for the next show.
Oh, nice.
Again, which would be great. Vincent Nothing. And we're going to be seeing Gannon Jones Jr. and his tag team partner this week, this time Duke Davis.
So tag Matt, that'll be good to see. Obviously, we've just seen him in singles action, so it'll be good to see what he can do
Yeah.
as part of a tag team.
And like you said, Marty Bell will be back for her match, as well as we know the main event. Obviously, it's Dante Casanova against J Rock Daddy. I'm going to make a prediction right now. J Rock is going to beat Dante Casanova, and Carson Drake's cashing in and winning the Midwest Championship.
Oh, okay.
You clipped it here first, Adam. So I will be clipping that. And once that happens, I will.
I don't know if you want J-Rock to hear that. He's a big dude, slightly scary looking dude.
Well,
He saw how EC3 backed down and went, okay, mate.
true, very true. But still, I'm going for that. That's my prediction, and I'm
Fair
sticking.
enough. Fair enough.
Fee, it's been great going through
That
it.
was so much fun. I loved that. Honestly, NWE or Exodus Pro, whoever's listening, Smooth, but any one of you, just keep putting it on YouTube for us so that we
Yeah,
can keep watching and we can keep talking about it.
and keep doing shows like this. And obviously, look, we'll keep promoting Exodus Pro like we did over the course of the last week or so. We've enjoyed the takeover shows. We've still got one left. Maybe we can get some more on nearer October time, and we can have another little takeover as we head toward
Yeah.
Exodus. If you guys want to come on, if you wrestlers are watching and you want to come on, and we can get it around schedules, then we would love to have you all on around the Exodus time again. So sort of late September, early October. Get you guys on. Let's talk about Exodus. Let's get it all. Basically, have another takeover. But likewise, any territory in the NWA, whether you're Joe Kazana, whether you're Crossfire, Exodus, Chicago, New Mexico, Dog Pound, TSW, any one of you guys. If you got shows coming up as well and you want us to do what we did for Exodus, we're right here. You just got to message us and let us know.
Bye.
Send us your posters.
We're
Send
nice people.
Well, let's not get too hasty.
Yeah.
But look, we're more than happy to. So any one of the NWA guys that are watching it, just send us the posters and we'll do the rest, so to speak. But Fee, this was great.
Yeah, this
Only
was fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad we did this. Really glad we
me
did
too.
this. It was
I
good to see the team in action. And
yeah,
I did promise Smooth I would check it out. So PBS, good
delivered
effort.
on
My
promise.
man Mountain, always.
There you go. Look, we've only got a couple of days until we're back again, Fee. So 2 days before we get to talk NWA again. This time, Power, of course. So you can watch it on Roku tomorrow. I watched it tomorrow. I watched it in the afternoon, I think. Tuesday
Yeah.
afternoon. Anyway, 8 o'clock. Sorry, Eastern time on Tuesday. I think if you want, I think it's on demand. You can watch it anytime, but we'll have to wait and see again this week. But we'll see that. We'll be back on Wednesday for that. We'll do all of our usual stuff on Wednesday, that what we've got coming up, because this is all about Exodus Pro Wrestling.
Indeed it is.
You can follow us at HTT Buckle on X, HTT Buckle on YouTube, Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast on all other social media outlets. You can follow Exodus Pro on X at X Pro Wrestling. If you put Exodus Pro Wrestling on Instagram, you'll be able to follow them on there as well. Brilliant show.
Breathe.
Brilliant, Exodus Pro. We look forward to watching your show in October. But Fee, I'll see you Wednesday.
You will indeed.
I hope we see you guys Wednesday. But until then, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and goodbye.